Well, folks, it finally happened. Hollywood accidentally made money again. Memorial Day weekend 2025 raked in over $320 million at the box office. Yeah, you heard that right. People actually left their homes, put on pants, and watched movies in theaters. And none of them were superhero movies. Well, mostly. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd. I'm your humble host, Chris, your snarky source for pop culture takedowns. Before we jump into the biggest Memorial Day box office ever, or so they claim, do your Critical Nerd a favor, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell like it's the Notre Dame of notification bells. You know you really want to. It's cheaper than a movie ticket these days. All right, let's dive into this ranked countdown of the Memorial Day 2025 box office top performers with a little twist of sarcasm, a dash of cynicism, and maybe a little sincerity. So grab your popcorn, folks. This is going to be fun. Number 1, Lilo and Stitch, Disney's new billion-dollar Frankenstein. That's right, Disney's live-action reanimation of childhood nostalgia. This half-human, half-CGI abomination ranked in over $341 million worldwide on just a $100 million budget. But let's be real, it was originally made for Disney Plus, so most of that budget probably went toward rendering Stitch's eyeballs and marketing it like it was Infinity War. And guess what? It worked. Yeah, that's right, it worked. This thing's on track to hit $1 billion. Yeah, $1 billion. For a movie based on a cartoon with an alien that eats cake and screams like a Furby on meth. Was it any good? Well, reviews are split. Normies and families say it's cute, but original fans of the animated classic are side-eyeing Nani's character arc like Disney rewrote it during a Starbucks sensitivity workshop. Coming in at number 2, we have Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning for the studio. Number 2, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, also known as Tom Cruise's Last Ride. We swear it is this time. It made $190 million globally, which sounds decent until you find out the budget was $400 million. Yeah, that's right, $400 million. That's not a movie budget. That's a NASA launch with a Ferrari dealership on the moon. And here's the kicker. It's already $50 million behind Dead Reckoning from 2023. And that one already lost $100 million. So, yeah, the Final Reckoning is less mission accomplished and more mission bankruptcy. But hey, you got to give it to Tom. 29 years of Ethan Hunt, still running like a man possessed, and apparently absorbing half the budget into his Scientology vitamins. Next, number 3, Final Destination: Bloodlines. Death never dies, but profits do. Yeah, this one snuck up on everybody. Final Destination: Bloodlines made $182 million globally in just 2 weeks on a $50 million budget. That's called profit, Hollywood. You know, that little thing where you make money. You might want to write it down. Now, this movie didn't get premium screens. Those were monopolized by Disney and Tom's ego. But it pulled in a solid $24 million for the 4-day weekend. And unlike Thunderbolts, it didn't require a flowchart to understand who died and when. Horror wins again, but blood, guts, and simple math. Hollywood, again, take notes. Number 4, we have the Thunderbolts. Yeah, that's right, the Thunderbolts is still around. The biggest Marvel hit that's actually a flop. Oh, Marvel. Sweet, sweet summer child. Thunderbolts made $353 million worldwide. Sounds great, right? Well, that is until you remember it cost $200 million to make, and that's before you add in marketing. And now it's crawling toward $400 million, but it's unlikely it's going to get there. Now, it's critically liked by fans, and they say it's the best of Phase 5, which is saying it's like the tallest Ewok. You may have won the weekend over Sinners, Marvel, but you still lost the war on financial reality. Also, and this is key, it just made $9 million this weekend. That's not a blockbuster, that's a gentle thud. Number 5, The Sinners Effect. Quiet hit, quiet win. Yeah, speaking of sinners, yes, that's what we're calling it now. Deal with it. It made $8.7 million this weekend and $258 million total in 6 weeks. It's not bad for a movie Disney pretended it didn't exist. Now, unlike the Thunderbolts, this thing held strong domestically and didn't need China to fake its numbers. Quiet wins, no capes, no CGI vomit, just people watching a movie and enjoying it. What a concept. And now we have a few honorable mentions. Minecraft, still mining coins with 955 million total, but it's slowed to a pixelated crawl. The Last Rodeo from Angel Studios, 6.4 million. Cowboy hat tip to them. Friendship, an A24 flick, brought in 5 million. Expect a 3-hour YouTube video essay explaining its trauma metaphors. And The Weeknd. No, it's not the singer. It's the movie. It dropped over 75% and made less than a TikTok ad. So what does all of this mean? Well, Hollywood is back. Well, kinda. But let's not celebrate too fast. Hollywood is calling Memorial Day 2025 the biggest Memorial Day box office weekend ever. And on the surface, they're not wrong, at least nominally. The total cash hauled in was enormous, breaking records in raw dollars. But, and there's always a but, let's inject a little reality into the celebration, shall we? Biggest ever? Only if you don't adjust for inflation and ignore how many people actually bought tickets. If you do adjust those numbers, it turns out 2007 and 2017 had Memorial Day weekends that were just as big or bigger in real terms. Remember those Pirates of the Caribbean days? Yeah, those were good times. And here's the kicker. Attendance is way down compared to past decades. Fewer people went to the movies this Memorial Day than in many previous so-called record years. We're talking significantly less butts in seats. The only reason the dollars look so high now is because ticket prices have been jacked up over the years. And maybe because every movie is in 3D IMAX Super XD with a surcharge. In fact, on average, less people are going to theaters today than at basically any other point in modern history, COVID lockdowns aside. That's a sobering reality hidden under the shiny revenue figure. Meanwhile, our friends in the media, The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, so on and so forth, we're busy popping champagne and printing headlines before the weekend was even over. Deadline, Box Office Mojo, and others declared victory with those inflated 4-day numbers. It's like they couldn't wait to anoint 2025 as the champion. Never mind that it took creative accounting, looking at you Monday estimates, to claim the crown. The biggest ever narrative makes for great clickbait, but as a critical nerd, I gotta call BS. The industry suits will tout this weekend as proof that cinema is back, baby. But let's be clear. Cinema never left. It just has a smaller fan club now. The movies that succeeded did so largely on the back of established franchises and nostalgia. You know, it's a little thing called IP mining. Originality was on vacation this Memorial Day. Hollywood essentially said, here's another sequel, another remake, another comic book team up, and another horror franchise entry. Please come spend your money. And people did. But that strategy is a double-edged sword. It can give you a record weekend while also highlighting how risk-averse and creativity-starved the industry has become. So that's it for this post-apocalyptic box office breakdown. Let me know in the comments. Did you go see Lilo and Stitch? Are you still emotionally recovering from the Thunderbolts? Or are you like me, holding out for 28 years later to burn everything to the ground? Be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss the next cinematic car crash. And as always, thanks for watching. And remember, if Hollywood keeps remaking their own trash, I'll be here to roast it $1 billion remake at a time. Critical Nerd, out.